Go.
All right. Well, my name is Samantha Sargent. I'm a Doterra wellness advocate, and I've been a martial artist for the last 11 years straight, a little bit when I was in junior high. So I work at the U.S. Taekwondo Center about 15 hours a week. I'm a third-degree black belt. My husband, Brian, is a first-degree black belt and works part-time there. He's a counselor. And we're at a big transition point in our lives that we've worked really hard at getting to for the last couple years. And so my daughter, Nicole, who's videoing for me right now, we're headed to a birthday party in Denver. But she said that she would help me with an online diary because sometimes I just have these random thoughts that I want to share, or little tidbits of things that I've learned from people that some people, I've shared it with them and they're like, oh, I've never heard that before. And I'm like, really? I heard that, 10 years ago. I thought it was common knowledge. And that's something that boggles my mind, is that what's common knowledge to one person is not common knowledge to another. So when I learn something, I want to share that. And then people will probably be like, oh, you're such a nerd. I knew about that from birth. And I'll be like, oh, I just learned about it. So that's a big reason why I wanted to start an online diary. Plus, I have a few people on my doTERRA team that they have such amazing journeys and they learned so much and they've progressed. Recently, my friend Nancy and I have both lost significant amount of weight. And so everyone keeps asking her, how'd you do that, Nancy? What are you doing? And I'm like, you've got to share this story. But sometimes when we're in the hardest part of it, we don't want to share it. We want to wait until we're done being through the hard stuff to go back. But I think the true piece of it is when you're right in the depth of it and the hard stuff. Because when we come out on the other side, we're done. And we forget about the heartache because it was so worth it. You forget about all that. I recently had someone ask me about that with black belt, that they've seen people go to their black belt and they didn't understand why someone would put themselves through so much torture, but they're only seeing the test, whereas we've been going for that test for 3 or 4 years. So yes, you're seeing the very end of it, which we know it's going to be worth it. Like giving birth to children, we know that it's going to be worth it because your reward is your child healthy, and if not, then you work on that from there. But anyways, Brian and I are a blended family of 7. So Brian has Sean and Abigail from his first marriage. Sean just turned 17. Abby just turned 13. We have Nicole and Mateo, who Nicole is 15, Mateo's 13. And then Brian and I had Cody together, and Cody is 2. Sean's a black belt, Nicole's a black belt, Abby's almost a black belt, Mateo's a black belt, and Cody is, I'm sorry, you're right. Mateo just tested for a 2nd degree black belt a couple weeks ago on his birthday. 2 weeks ago then, huh, Mateo? Or was that one?
It was 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. Went by fast. So he just got his first Facebook profile page. He just got his email address to go along with that, because he's Pterodactyl and I'm Samanthosaurus Rex. We can talk more about that later. And then Cody's a white belt until he's 4, and then he can become an official student and then go on to his yellow belt. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to see if anyone else is as silly as me or striving for more knowledge and learning and things like that. Did I leave anything out, Nicole? Nicole coached me. She told me that usually people's first video, they just talk about who they are and where they are. So I guess I can tell you my the changes where we are in our life right now. I just worked my butt off to lose about 15 pounds. Some days it reads on the scale 20, but I stick with the 15 for now. So that was an amazing journey, and it was really easy, actually. We recently went vegan. I did. Everyone else still eats meat, especially if we go out to dinner or whatever. But I've chosen to no dairy, no meat. Every now and then it slips into a recipe by accident, but I'm working on that. It takes a while to kind of get there. And then right now, my husband got his master's degree 2 years ago in counseling. He's been at the same place almost 2 years now, a year and a half. And the pay is not what it needs to be for a master's degree. Colorado Springs wages are much lower because we have a lot of military here, and these retired military people, they don't rely on one income, so they accept jobs at a lower wage, which keeps the wages down. There's lots of other reasons too, but that's the main one that we've really found to be true. So he was active duty Army for 12 years, then went reservist so he could use his GI Bill to get his master's degree, which did at UCCS. And once he got his counseling degree, we started exploring some of the other wages of different jobs, and he realized how valuable his military career is. So he just got accepted to another job, and the security switchover takes about 2 weeks to 4 weeks. So he's going to use up his vacation time, use up his sick leave. He does have a reserve week in there too, since he's still a reservist. So in about a month, his wages are going to double from what he's making currently. So that's a huge change for us. We've been working really hard. Before he got his master's, we were debt-free, and we had a savings account. It took him a month or so to get a job after getting his degree, and again, the wages were so low that we started to accumulate some debt, but it wasn't very worrisome. And about 3 months ago, I had a little bit of a freak out because it was just becoming too much pressure for me financially to balance all that, because I mostly pay the bills and things like that. So we purged, we went minimalist, we became Airbnb hosts, so that is another job that I do have, but my main thing is being a Doterra wellness advocate. There's my pretty bracelet that Stacy, one of my teammates, bought for me and Shauna and herself. But anyways, we're just looking to double our income. We've been making good traction on our debt, and we were going to be out of debt in December, but now in November we may be debt free a month early, and then we'll be able to crank away at those savings accounts and maybe some college funds for the kids, and just living the life that we really want to live and building our Doterra business more. So I think that's me. I mean, those are our transition points where we are right now. So I hope this video wasn't too long, but that kind of gives me a good reference to look back in 2 years and watch myself on video and realize where we've come. So I guess I'll try to do a yearly update, or you know, when we hit a huge this or that, but we are definitely well under the poverty level, but we still live a life of joy, and money's not an issue, but I don't like money to be a reason that I can't do something that is family oriented or fun, or you know, we've earned a lot of things mentally that we want to be able to do that physically and out in the world as well. My husband's traveled a lot because of the Army, and I have not. I've only been to the United States and Mexico, but I have friends in Germany, and I have a desire to train in Taekwondo in Korea. So what'd you say, Mateo? Florida. So that's the United States, yeah. So we did get to go to Disney World right after Brian graduated. We had saved up a big chunk of money for vacation, so we did that. And then, like I said, shortly after that, we started to accumulate debt. So that's where it got a little scary for me. But I do love Dave Ramsey, and I have had many journeys in my life through different things. Like I said, both Brian and I had 2 children from our previous marriages, and so we are blended family times 2. We love it. Our children get along. I love my stepkids. Brian loves my kids. Even Nicole and Mateo's dad gets along really well with Brian, and we all try to be as cohesive as possible. We definitely have our bumps in the road, and we definitely have our arguments, but we're all adults and we handle those in a good way, and the kids are all...
In 2 miles, use the right lane to take exit 197 for Arapahoe Road, Colorado 88.
I'm done, unless you can think of something that I missed, Nicole.
Nope.
Okay. Bye. Thank you for listening.